Hello. Somebody has written a rather waggish thing saying on the chat that the current scandals throw up quite a lot about Oxford PPE. That's politics, philosophy, and economics. Well, possibly they do. Though I hasten to add that Dominic Raab, as far as I know, read law in Oxford. I think he was at Lady Margaret Hall, and then he went to Cambridge. So he's not a PPEer. PPE, so many people who I knew who read PPE dropped one of the subjects before they got to their finals, many of them dropping economics because it was difficult. And some of them dropping philosophy. I have no idea why. I think they found logic rather tough. Nobody, in my experience, ever dropped politics because it was a doddle. It was easy. I didn't study PPE myself. I've spent a lot of time over the years guiding students who have applied to university. And one of the questions has always been, I want to go to a top university. I want to go to Oxford, Cambridge, St Andrews, Durham, Warwick, Edinburgh, and so on. And then they say they want to study PPE or politics or whatever. And I think, well, actually, if the university is so important, if the university is so great, it doesn't really matter whether you're studying needlework. The quality of the university is probably more important than anything else at undergraduate level. At graduate level, yes, you start specializing. But if you really think a subject is important, there are so many universities which are particularly targeted and particularly good at, they specialize in particular subjects. When it comes to Oxford and Cambridge, I can only think of one subject in Cambridge which I think is outstanding. If you want to be a mathematician, if you think you have the aptitude for maths, if in fact you can get through the step papers, which I think are very difficult, then you apply for maths in Cambridge, ideally at King's. That's like the sort of the pinnacle of undergraduate achievement. But otherwise, yeah. It's just tremendous if you can get to university and enjoy that process of university education. But I think we need, in Britain and across the world really, to rethink the way we do higher education. And so often we think of it as being a vocational thing now, and that whatever you read in university, that's what you do in real life. But it's not true. It's not true. University teaches you how to process ideas and how to write and how to think in a careful and organized way. So, as I say, in some of the better universities, if you have studied knitting, that is enough. And you can apply those skills to some greater skill. I joke about the knitting. I mean, if you studied, for example, philosophy, it's perfectly possible for you to apply those skills to a career in business or in theatre or wherever you need to use your mind. But there are so many other ways in which we can progress after school with apprentices and just simply going off and doing work and learning on the job, learning how to be self-disciplined. And it's self-discipline which is the thing which we want to acquire. If you feel you've got to be disciplined by somebody else, then you haven't managed it. That sense of discipline, that sense of knowing you have a deadline and achieving it, that is really one of the main things that university teaches you. And I think sometimes some of the people in the present government should have learned that skill and haven't learned it. How to get things done on time and to the best of our ability.